Do you like opening with Florida in the sense of it, because it's a rivalry game, it creates maybe an extra set of focus?
Yeah, I think, last year we were at USF, a couple years ago, actually had a big trip to Texas. I like it. Sam Bohan, the coach, threw it out to us, and we said, "Yeah, sure. Let's do it." And we had a great training session and video session this morning, and talked about how they seem to have taken some steps over the last kind of 8 months as a program. Got some transfers in, had some very good results in the spring, and they've had some good preseason results. And so certainly it's a team and a school and an athletic department that has our players' interest peaked here right at the outset. The only potential downside is we're not in a total rhythm yet. And I remember saying this to our team 2 years ago when we had a tough weekend at Texas. Like, early is about three things: staying healthy, getting results, and starting to learn things about individuals and collectively your team. And hopefully we can do all of that this week.
Tactically, where have you seen UF grow the most as you were reviewing and looking over all that film?
Yeah, I would say tactically, I can't totally put my finger on that, but I would just say the quality of their players, So maybe it's increase the quality of the players, increase the athleticism of the players. You can do a better job of keeping the ball and a better job of putting the ball in the back of the net. Namely, we don't have video on this game, but they beat LSU 7-0 in the spring. And obviously LSU's a good team. And so they have just better players. We all want to keep the ball, right? They, for the last couple of years, have wanted to keep the ball, and against us, that's been hard for them. But I think they're going to try to play, and I think they do have a nice mix of the ability to keep the ball and then be direct. They're athletic along their front line, athletic in the back, scrappy and technical in the midfield. And then having all those things just allows you to play with a little bit more sophistication.
Coming out of the Alabama exhibition, what's kind of been the focal point of focus for your group?
I think continuing to be, our team knows this now. We were number 2 in the country last year in goals scored. And we were not even in the top 50 in goals conceded. And I don't know where we ranked from a set piece goals against standpoint. We struggled with that last year. We obviously gave up a goal the other day. So just all things defensive transition and defending continuing to we had a lot of really good moments in the game the other day. We had to deal with Gianna Paul, who was very fast, let her in behind us kind of once and a half times, which is pretty good. And so continuing to take steps forward in terms of limiting opposition moments. I think maybe recognizing game situations more, right? When to be direct, when to keep the ball. I think we're not changing a whole lot in terms of what we want to do as a team, right? Our thing is our thing, ideally keeping the ball, but if we can beat a team in one pass, we'll beat a team in one pass. And so just a whole lot of, kind of attacking, defending, and transitional, and then individual video moments. And then literally about an hour ago, I'm starting to piece together a lineup for this week, and I think we're probably going to use a lot of players again, because I don't think many people eliminated themselves from discussion, and so I don't know that we're any further along from a relationship and players on the field standpoint and trying to, set up who's playing with who. It's still just a little bit of okay, let's give kids opportunity while trying to get results and see how things go.
What is it you do want to see when you're trying to make those decisions in this game and then obviously on Sunday as well?
Yeah, good decisions on the ball, right? Helping us keep it, not just giving it away. We've talked a lot about running in behind, and threatening the opposition's back line. We've told our midfielders they know what they need to do in terms of supporting all the different players in the field, right? And whether that's coming back and helping the back line, helping their wingers, running off of and underneath the front line, and then making penetrating runs out of midfield. Those are the things that our midfielders need to do. And I'd say that's probably our line right now that is most congested, most up in the air, kind of seeing if anyone can really separate themselves, right? Are we going to roll with 4 or 5 midfielders, right, when we get into the meat of our season, or are we going to continue to play with 6 or 7? Time will tell. We talk a lot about kind of the words we use, or our video analysts use: progressive passes, progressive carries, receiving the ball, all the things that are attacking things, right? A lot of players can play sideways and backwards. A lot of players can just kind of hang out and not be on the ball. It's one of our team kind of principles and honestly standards, wanting the ball, right? And so how are players getting on the ball, and are they helping our attack? So, and then if you're in the front line, how dangerous are you, right? You just kind of hanging out and taking up space, or are you being a dangerous player from a runs behind, from an assisting standpoint, from a goal scoring standpoint, and then also from a defending standpoint. We credited Gianna Paul the other day in video. We had to deal with her. She was a pain in the you-know-what to play against. But then I asked the team, I said, was she a pain with the ball or without the ball? And they all said, without the ball. I said, well, without the ball when they had the ball, or without the ball when we had the ball? And they all said both, right? And so you just talk about your ability to work when you don't have the ball. And so those are all the things. And then our back line being together and stepping and dropping together and being in sync. And Erwin really is trying to work with them a lot on that, and more in detail than we have in years past, which I think we need, right? And then we're trying to see how the goalkeeper thing shakes out. And I will retract a statement that I made to you guys the other day. I said that, well, I won't retract, that our goalkeeper coaches don't like splitting. However, we're in such a pickle that at some point we may split halves as we go here.
So, would you rather play more preseason games? I mean, you only had the one against Alabama. In a perfect world, would you like more?
Yeah, I thought about that last week, because a lot of teams were playing 2. We were only playing 1. Yes and no, right? I'd say yes in terms of a second game gives us just more time together, another 90 minutes together, right? Alabama, you could tell they had played 90 minutes already, right? They were further ahead in that regard. The scary thing is, and I'm an anxious freaking guy, and the scary thing is, are their bodies ready to play 2 games in the first 8 to 10 games? Now, what kind of games are those, right? If we play 2 Alabama kind of games, then it's like, all right, do we need that, right? And Johnny Fabrizius is our new sports performance coach, and I worked with him at Tennessee. He's now head of Olympic sports performance. He's been in the MLS for the last 3 years. He's really, really good. And I remember him saying to me back in 19 or 20 at Tennessee, he just listened to a podcast from, I think, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers strength coaches. And those guys said, we lost a lot of games in November and December because of what we did in August and September, right? And that resonated with him then. It resonated with me then when he told me that. And it has stuck in both of our brains ever since. And so we want to be playing well in November and December. And so we're just kind of keeping the gas in the tank now, hoping to get the results, get out healthy, and learn more about our players.